Hey everybody, this is Monica with Mystic Maiden Oracle. This reading is for April 26th, 2021. It's about the pink moon energy, pink full moon energy in April. It has Scorpio and Taurus energy attached to it. The pink moon is symbolic of fertility, springtime, things starting to blossom. So that can not just mean flowers, but that can mean goals or things that you've been working on, projects, things that you've been wanting to start or have already started, and maybe they're really starting to take off, get more clients or more ideas or, stuff like that. It's also associated with some manifestation, lightheartedness, and gratitude. So that we're going to look into a few of the different energies and some themes for this full moon. And we're going to start with where in your life do you need to step forward and, be seen, or to help yourself manifest. Where do you need to step up to complete your goals or to make, your dreams a reality? So. So the first card, it's 33, Merlin, the Merlin. Guidance, mentorship, teacher of the old ways. That's a super cool card. So Merlin is a magician. We were just talking about manifestation. So that makes sense. Anything that you're trying to work your magic in, so there's a lot of things that this can apply to. So actual magic is super cool, right? But none of us that I know of have magic wands. So there's other ways to work your magic. It could be networking. It could be, something that you know how to do that not many other people do know how to do. Teacher of the old ways, that could be holistic stuff, natural remedies, natural nutrition, being a nutritionist or working on your own nutrition. Spiritual health also, so not just the modern day religions we have, and I don't mean modern day I don't really know, but so whatever it is, Wicca, paganism, learning how to live off the land, learning how to take care of the land, learning other sources of electricity, like if the power got shut out, do you have enough candles? Are you relying on flashlights? What is it? Other ways to get water instead of from the store, like when you're camping. Guidance, mentorship, it's kind of the same thing. If you don't know another way to do something, it doesn't have to be an old way, it could be a new way, or teaching and learning. So you can learn something from, a young kid if you're an older person. And if you're older, you have a lot of wisdom to share with anybody younger than you, so it's a cycle, and anybody can be anybody's mentor as long as they have some sort of knowledge that's of value to somebody else. So everybody has something to offer for sure. So let's get another card too, another fairy tarot card. And then 33 is a super powerful number too. I love double numbers, any kind of double digits or repeating numbers. I take it as a sign that, your spirit guides or your ancestors, whoever you're talking to, is trying to communicate with you. And in this case, it's the Merlin. And I put him in the Ascended Masters category. The magician, he's definitely got outside of this box, or outside of the box wisdom. And, he's got his crystal ball. So everybody has gifts, whether you use them or not. So everybody is intuitive. Everybody, has the 5 clairs. I can never remember all of them, but, clairsentience, clairaudience, clairvoyance. I think that's all I remember right now. So the colors in this card too, And also like the band that he has up around his head, you know, that's where the third eye chakra is too. So you don't just rely on your physical eyes, you have your third eye too, your intuition, your divine knowing. And that's part of the crystal ball thing there too, is you know, trusting your guidance, trusting your own intuition, not just relying on outside sources. Like Google is great, but what did your heart say first? So there's purple in the card too, which is great because it's a nice, you know, renewal, rebirth color, springtime color. We just got done with Easter, so that color purple goes with Easter a lot too. So it's a great time to, you know, maybe start learning something new. Or if you've been wanting to teach a class, start teaching a class. Ooh, 5 of winter. So it says, walk away from dishonest associations, realizing that what you thought you wanted isn't the best choice for your happiness, something that's not worth the effort. We have more purple in this card, a nice like kind of purple and the yellow theme going on here. So I'm getting kind of like a cycle vibe, you know, like something is dying, so something new can be born. There's also the, you know, snow and the winter card there. So we just had winter and we're coming into spring. So there's new growth happening for sure. Things are coming back to life. We're able to clean out things that aren't serving us anymore. So if we had something that we were doing that, you know, we now decide isn't what we want, or it's not working out for us, we can just, you know, leave it behind. We don't have to take it. We don't have to uncover it and bring it with us this time. We can walk away from it. We can throw it away because we know better now. So also we had 6, 3 and 3 to 6, and then 5 in the winter. So with what we learned in the winter, we're going to be able to use that to be a good mentor. And that could be to ourselves too. You know, it doesn't have to just be for somebody else. So, so yeah, I'm seeing a good theme there. So remember, we were talking about where do we need to step up, you know, to complete our goals. So if we can walk away from things that don't serve us, we're going to be able to have more time for the things that we want to do and the things that we want to complete, the relationships that we want to have, you know, whether it be business or pleasure, even our, you know, our employment, our home life, our hobbies, our whatever it is, you know, maybe it's investments. And also too, Scorpio actually has one of the traits. So I believe it's a Scorpio moon, but we're in Taurus season. And if you're happen to be watching and you're an astrologist and I'm wrong, feel free to comment and clear that up. But I do believe that, you know, we have honest as Scorpio energy is one of, you know, the more positive traits. And then also with Taurus too, so there's double honesty there, and it's the focus in here on walking away from people that are not dishonest or not honest. So, you know, and then the negative energy on that side, I feel like the honesty there, they also have resentful. And so I feel like that's important right now too, because if you stay in any kind of situations or relationships that are dishonest, you will probably form a resentment. And, you know, that can freeze things, that can, you know, freeze your heart, freeze your dreams, freeze your progress on your path and on your journey. So remember that we're trying to follow our heart here and do things that feed us, feed our soul, make us happy, and help us on our journey. So don't put your time and energy into things that aren't worth it and are not making you happy. Okay, so with that said, it's a perfect time, I think, to go into the next energy, which is what can you release to put more strength into your goals? So we already know that we can release dishonest associations, but what else? Daughter of Skulls. Oh, more purple in there. Look at that. So I see in this card too. Oh, she kind of looks like Wednesday, I think, from whatchamacallit, the Addams Family. Maybe that's just me. I guess maybe her face isn't round enough. Anyway, more purple in the card. So we're still working on that kind of, you know, death and rebirth cycle theme. And so we have, oh, we had the, what did we have? Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. I was getting some mixed messages from myself. So anyway, skulls are, I believe, associated with earth and physical stuff. So the material world. We're talking about releasing things. So anything in, you know, it could even be cleaning out your closet. Structure is part of it. So daily habits, you know, if you're trying to quit smoking or drinking too much caffeine or eating or whatever is, if there's anything in excess going on, or even stuff that's, you know, good that you're doing that maybe you're doing too much of, you know, too much of a good thing, I've heard has been said. And so we could be trying to like diet too much or, you know, putting too much out of our lives, not having enough fun because we're too rigid, we're too focused on work. And oh yeah, and the physical body. So skulls are pentacles. So this deck, they have different minor arcana symbols. So the skulls are related to pentacles, and that is the earth element, like I was saying. And so that is Taurus energy. So perfect for Taurus season, perfect for trying to, you know, get out of stubbornness, because Taurus is known for stubbornness too. That's one of the negative traits, but they're also known for lots of good things too, you know, like patience. They're very sensual, they're very kind and reliable, they're super hard workers. And so yeah, they Taurus people are pretty loving. So yeah, inventorying, those would be areas that you could look at too for making sure that you're in an honest relationship with whatever it is. You know, are you in an honest relationship with yourself even? Are you treating yourself well? Are you having enough fun? Are you, you know, having a good amount of discipline and freedom, you know, or are you being too hard on yourself, too critical? Are you being too critical of others? Stuff like that. So let's get another card here too, about what can be released to help get us closer to our goals. Retirement. Oh, and we have pink. So there we are in our pink full moon energy for right now, for this month, or this week, I mean. And, you know, butterflies are awesome. So butterflies are really symbolic of transformation because they go from, you know, one completely different thing to another, from a caterpillar to a butterfly. And like, they just totally change. They shed their skin, if you will, not like a snake, you know, so much, but they shed their outer layer and they come out something completely brand new. And almost always, I've never seen an ugly butterfly, so they come out as something beautiful. So I am getting the vibe from this card that whatever we are going to retire and walk away from is going to help you bloom and blossom into a beautiful flower or a beautiful butterfly. And so yellow is associated with let's see, solar plexus chakra. So that's like right in between your belly button and your rib cage, you know, so the third chakra up. And that We have yellow, like I said, a couple times in here. Oh, and sun energy. That's super awesome. I love sun energy because I'm a Leo. And, maybe if you have a Leo rising, maybe as you're watching this video, that could have a thing to do with the message. I don't know why, but like I said, if you're an astrologist and you're watching, feel free to chime in. But anyway, back to your chakras. Your solar plexus chakra is what we were talking about. And so that's right there where your tummy is, where, you get gut feelings, also known as your intuition. But your intuition is not just from, the feelings that you get in your tummy. We can't rely on feelings because sometimes we confuse them. So we can confuse like a fluttering belly with anxiety, but also excitement, right? So how do we know how to trust our intuition? It's kind of a mix of like the whole body thing. Is our heart lit up too? Is our mind excited? Is it like turning? Are the wheels turning? Where did we get our information from, right? Did it come from a stranger? Did it come from the internet? Like, was it an idea that we had already? And then, in our head, in our mind, in our mind's eye, that we got validated through outside signs, numbers from our angels, our guides. Maybe somebody started talking to you about something and you hadn't told them anything about what you were thinking of. And, they just say things that resonate with you. So that is what I think, how you'll know what you should get rid of if you're struggling trying to figure it out or walk away from, is listening to your mind body spirit connection, your mind body heart spirit connection, and making sure that everything you're thinking about, you're putting all kinds of thought into it, not just relying on logic, not just relying on feelings, not just relying on other people's opinions, which if you're asking for opinions, great, take it, but don't forget to ultimately follow your own guidance and your own, your own intuition, like I've been saying. So that sounds awesome. What else? So next we are going to talk about where you can light a fire under yourself to get closer to your goals. So, speaking of fire, 36, shine bright like a candle. You will make it through this. So I love this. Isn't that Starry Night in the background? I don't know, I think it's a Van Gogh painting. I don't know anything about, not much about art and stuff, but might be something to look up and see what the meaning of this painting is, just in case any of the information, resonates with you in relation to this reading. But so shining bright like a candle kind of goes with all the things that we're trying to let go of to reach the goals and manifest what we want, not just material things, but ultimately the life that we want, which doesn't mean that we're not already living it. But, most people, especially if you're into tarot and oracle and, stuff, things like that, crystals, all that, you're most likely constantly always trying to up level in some way, whether, to connect with your higher consciousness, your source, our source. And so every time we do that and we get closer and, we get onto a higher frequency, we shine, our soul shines brighter, because we're more in alignment with our soul, with our divine purpose. And everybody, is divine. It's not just some people, but also everybody has free will and the power of choice. And so everybody's path looks different and everybody shines different, just like all the stars in the sky. So if you have to give up something or retire something that is going to be difficult, Alice wants you to know that you're going to make it through this. And so 3 and 6 is 9. And so 9 is right before 10, which is the completion of a cycle. And that's super exciting. It's also, for 5 and 6, the things that we're learning that we want to get rid of, and the 6 coming after it, so we just regained our balance in the 5, with whatever we were changing. And so now we're kind of finding our footing again with the energy of the 6. And then the energy of the 9 is kind of actually up here with, third eye stuff is unconscious stuff. So, dreams, stuff that happens when you're not really, thinking about it. So everything, if this is where after the change, like things kind of are settled. It's like what's done is done, because next is 10, which is the completion of a cycle, which is great because 10 is what would be manifestation, which is what we're getting at about this whole reading, is how can you really manifest your goals with this full moon energy. So yay on the 9. All right. So next we are going to draw another card about that. That's right. So come to life. This deck wants you to come to life. 43. So I think we're getting almost all our numbers here right in alignment. 4 and 3 is 7. So remember 6 was getting our balance again, discovering our truth, which we're constantly always discovering our truth, because we're always changing, right? So our truths and our beliefs and thoughts and stuff change, just like her skin, right? She's coming to life, but she's changing her skin, just like the butterfly changes their skin, so lots of change energy in here, which again is the vibe of the 5. So woohoo. But back to 7. So how do we get to 9 is by reflecting and listening to our intuition and becoming more spiritual with what, however that means to you. If you're religious or, open to all religions, not really identifying with anyone, that's super fine and awesome. And as long as you're integrating everything that you're learning and applying it to your life and, evolving with it. And so, yeah, that is 7 helps us get to 9, obviously, because 7, 8, 9, that's how the numbers go. But anyway, yeah, helping us get to 9. It's almost like I feel like these cards should sort of be opposite or in a different order, because after we put down and walk away from all the things that we don't need anymore, and that doesn't mean that we have to do it, negatively or harshly or, painfully. It's just, and it doesn't mean that it can't come out of retirement too, so something can just not serve you at this time, but then it could come back. It could come back into your life at another time, at a later time. So it may or may not be goodbye forever. And that's what she was saying here, is you'll make it through this. And, that's how you're going to come to life. And look at all the help here too in this card. There's a crow and a monkey. And so pay attention to, and butterflies, more butterflies. Yes. So pay attention to, spirit animals and things that you see when you're out in the world. And then if you already know, how they resonate with you, that is great. But if you don't, or even if you do, actually, you should look it up again and see if you get anything new out of it, and see what those animals represent. And then, how it fits into the theme of your life at the moment, or how they can help you come to life more, and, stand in your light and help you shine authentically, So that's a super cool card. And too, she's the one with the paintbrush. So you create your own life. You design it however you want. Nobody else is, you're the author, you're the artist, you're the creator, you're the co-creator, you and spirit, you and source. So you can be whatever you want to be. Candles are different. They smell different. They look different. There's certainly different prices depending on which ones you like. And even there, you can make your own candle. So that is a super cool card too. Well, they're all really cool. I say that all the time. All right, so let's get to the last few cards here. Now I want to know what you can do to control your fire so that it doesn't end up burning you. So, I know that fire is coming up and Taurus is an earth sign, but I do think it's important because the earth was wet and damp, but this is when it starts to dry out, too. I mean, I know we have the possibility for rain at any time. Weather can do whatever she wants. But, I just am getting the message about how we tend to the earth, and how we take care of it. And that's not just the outside dirt and stuff, that's, our bodies came up. They're like physical stuff, our physical body, our physical world, or, our home, anywhere that we step our feet on, is what it has to do with. So, and anything we touch. So yeah, just being careful. So that's the energy of this question though, was how, you can control even your earth so you don't bury yourself, and whatever element you are. So we don't want to get stuck under a pile of rocks, right? Especially if it's our own pile of rocks. Hard to get out of. Okay. So soul mating. Okay, so we were just talking about our souls and our relationships with them. So, and we were also talking too about how do we know what's bringing us happiness and what our best choices are. And here we have the yellow that we were talking about, our solar plexus, right? And our divine knowing, and our heart is right up there too. So maybe not in the order that we know them, in like the order of the chakras, but still there, everything we were talking about, plus all this blue, and we were talking about being authentic and in our truth. So we've got all the yellows here too. Some good color themes actually in these cards. So anyway, blue, throat chakra, speaking your truth. And the purple in there too for the crown and above. So I'm seeing a lot of activation energy here. Soul mating does not necessarily mean a soulmate, like another person. I'm taking the energy in this to mean you mating with your soul, like your masculine and your feminine energies coming into balance, being happily married. Masculine energy being, like the force that will drive the creative feminine energy. So your dreams, that's the feminine energy, thinking of things, fantasizing about stuff. And then the masculine energy is what helps, the feminine bring it into the physical world. Oh, and we got another 7 in there too. So remember what the 7s were about. So reflecting, spiritualization, visualization, like third eye visualization, and also winning. So victories too. So we're trying to, shine bright, shine our own lights and stuff. And so that is a huge victory. And also getting rid of the things that don't resonate or align with our soul purpose and our soul's vibration. That's a victory too, even if it's hard to do. You have to do it. And remember, it doesn't have to be permanent. Possibly getting it out of your life might, create a ripple effect where now that you are cleaning things and deciding that you want different, quote unquote, better things for yourself, things that are more in alignment with your soul, then it might create, like I said, the ripple, and other people will do the same, and they'll level up with you. So yeah, wouldn't that be a victory when we all win? So staying heart-centered, that's how we know what our soul is doing. And then I believe that that's a sword up in there. So um, the sword energy, when I think about soul and spirit, um, I get a lot of like Archangel Michael juju, where he's helping clear things out. They also have to do so. Swords and tarot. I'm sorry, I don't remember if I finished my thought about Archangel Michael, but he was telling me about cutting things out that don't serve you, cutting out negativity. I really trailed off there. I actually don't even know what I said. Whole thing was good. Anyway, yeah. So Archangel Michael will help you cut away any energetic cords, any negativity, anything you feel like is gunking you up. He will come and cut it away. So back to tarot though. So that also has to do with your mind, things that you're thinking about doing, taking action on doing it. So the masculine energy again. So yeah. Dreams. Let's go back to the dream energy is what I was getting at there. So one more about making sure. Okay, so remember the energy though too was how can you control your fire and not let it consume you. Don't ignore what your soul is asking you to do. Don't ignore the signs and the guidance that is coming to you, because that could definitely bite you in the ass. If you're gonna ask all this stuff and then not listen, I mean, what do you expect? So you have to actually listen and pay attention to what's coming through for you, and actually be willing to give up whatever it is or walk away from whatever it is, so that you can do all the manifesting that you've been putting all of your energy and your thoughts into. So well, this one's a little hard to shuffle, so we'll just do it like this. Page of Cups. Well, this one's got all the colors in it. Oh my God, this is so cool. It's like the little pig in there when pigs fly, right? So this looks like this guy is just dreaming, and like he's having like an out of body experience, like he's sitting there. So it's gonna have a lot to do with a lot of things, you in a dream state, astral traveling. Sometimes we go places in our dreams, and learn new stuff, have a different we're able to gain a different perspective. We're able to connect with our higher selves better. We're able to connect with lots of things. And in this card, I think it's our dreams, right? Because that's what we're talking about. And we have another little heart in there too. What is that? There's a symbol inside the heart, but I cannot for the life of me tell what it is. Maybe you can. See if you can see it when you look at it, and then whatever your guidance is, make it that. But so he's letting his dreams happen, and there could be doubt associated with this card too, so don't let any doubt, like, oh yeah, sure, that'll happen when pigs fly. Don't let that happen, and don't let your dreams get away from you, because that is definitely something that will bite you in the ass, right? Because that can have a whole lot of regret associated with it. And we were talking about Scorpio energy. Scorpios are determined and they're ambitious, but they can also become resentful. They also have stubborn energy like Taurus. And so if you end up missing out on something that you wanted to do, or you feel like you let yourself down, that is something that could happen if you don't follow your dreams, right? There's always a sense of regret that comes with not being able to do something you wanted to do or say something you wanted to say. So don't let that be you. And page 2, I believe that that is kind of more of a like a prince type energy. So yeah, don't ignore the signs that you're getting. That was part of this card too, is don't ignore the signs that you're getting. Daughter and page, I'm getting like more of an adolescent energy from that. So like a younger soul too, but somebody that's growing now into, you're coming to life, you're changing the phase of life that you're in, maybe, and so maybe now you have different knowledge to offer than you did when you were younger, or maybe you learned something a minute ago that you didn't know the minute before, and now you're a minute wiser and have something to share with the world. So so there's things, that you don't even know that might come with your dreams. There's stuff that you might be wanting to do, but you don't know how it's going to happen. And that could be the when pigs fly energy, like, yeah, that'll never happen because I can't afford it, or because I don't have the right connections or whatever. I don't know if I had said it earlier, but I was getting even kind of a networking energy from the Merlin card, because it talked about guidance and mentorship. So if there's something that you're trying to learn how to start or how to do, seek guidance, find somebody that resonates with you that you can trust, and or again, wait for the signs that you're going to be receiving, because anything you ask for, the universe hears and wants you to have it, even if it's not really going to work out. If it's something that the universe already knows what you're going to do, right? So if you believe about soul contracts and things like that, we already signed up for stuff that we were going to do when we got here. So even if you don't succeed at something you wanted to do, it doesn't mean that you should stop trying, right? Or think that you failed. It means that maybe you should try it another way, or maybe you should try it after, you do a little bit more schooling or you get a little bit more experience. But still having the theme of dreams around here. And a lot of us too, like, we had dreams when we were younger and we were maybe talked out of them, or they seemed like childlike dreams, like having a YouTube channel where you read tarot and oracle cards. but it happens, right? Anything that you want to happen can happen. So let's see if there's anything else that I'm getting out of here. So yeah, and also too, with not knowing how things are happening and just trusting the universe, that's also part of old ways of thinking. For example, faith. I don't know how strong faith is these days, or if it's necessarily put in the right place. I mean, that's not for me to judge at all, but I know for myself, I always have to kind of look at where I'm placing my faith and my trust, and is it mostly in myself, or is it in things around me? Am I trusting the news? Am I trusting stories retold by other people, or am I trusting myself and what I know and how I know things? How do I go about getting my information? And do I just listen to everything I hear and believe it too? Am I fact checking? If you're gonna doubt anything, it should be outside stuff, not stuff in your own heart. And that's not trying to say that you should be skeptical or you should be untrusting, because that is definitely not what we're talking about here, but really highlighting that you should be trusting yourself. So one last card to wrap up the reading is, there was a theme too for the pink moon. Pink has a lot of meanings associated with it, but one of the ones I noticed was gratitude, and who doesn't love a little gratitude? So what can we thank not just the moon, but spirit for like what energy, what grateful energy can we carry in our hearts for this full moon to help us manifest our goals. The unicorn says balance. Pretty sure that came up a couple times too when we were talking about the 6 energy, finding our balance after changes in the 5 energy. So it says, take time to relax, indulge a little more or less, set boundaries with your work. So remember that came up also too. Balance doesn't just mean, when things are like, like drinking or whatever you're doing, like shopping. It doesn't always mean like the bad stuff. And not that shopping or drinking is bad, but things that have the stigma that we should hold or pull back on it. Everything should be in moderation. Everything should be in balance. So you shouldn't exercise too much, because you can damage your body. You shouldn't diet too much. You should have a healthy diet, but you shouldn't be starving yourself or depriving your body of anything, because unless you have an allergy, there's a lot of stuff that your body needs that if you're not eating certain foods, it's not going to get unless you're taking supplements. Or something like that. So anywho, balance in not just the, again, bad stuff or the fun stuff, but in everything. Make sure you're not working too hard. It says set boundaries with your work. So that's not just like your job work too, but that can be at home work. Everybody has endless housework to do. Everybody has bills to pay. Everybody has all kinds of responsibilities, or most people, but that's not all life is about, right? We need to have fun. Our soul needs to be fed and taken care of as well. That's part of our balancing act. And so in order to feed our soul and our happiness and, make sure all of our needs get met, we need to find balance. So balance is not 1 or 2 things. It's not just, like the Libra scale, we have just 2 sides to it. We are a many-faceted diamond. Each of us, the way we shine brightly, shine like a candle, shine like a diamond, whatever you want to shine like. It's not just one-sided. We have many, many, many layers to us that need attention, many things. We need to go out and have physical activity. We need to have social activity. We need to go to our jobs and be responsible and, bring home our money so we can take care of ourselves, our families. We need to, have hobbies that we like, community that we like to be a part of, good routines, healthy routines that we like to be active in, and participate in and show up for. So making sure that we're showing up for ourselves in all areas and showing up for other people too, where we can and where we're supposed to, where we've committed to, So there you go. That is your pink full moon reading for April, for the week of the 26th. So I hope you liked it. If you do, feel free to like the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have any comments, I'd love to hear them and your feedback if it resonated with you below. So thanks and see you next time. Bye, guys.